Hi everyone, and here is the next phase of the job, which is covering slash coating. We're going to be using CGC all-purpose mud for the next phase of the job. Moving forward, this is all we're going to be using. So just get familiar with the product, let's say. Yeah, so everything you're looking at here has been done with a 10-inch box. All the spaces that you are looking at. Some spots are missing. The box was unable to get there. And some spots could not have been done because they were, for example, the butt joints. Now, the butt joints and these other odd spots, I'm going to go over that with you guys just in a moment. Maybe in the next clip, you'll see what I do with the other box, let's say, to get the end results. Some stuff will be done by hand also. So moving forward with the idea of the box, I've done the butt joints with a 12-inch box. That's the 12-inch box I've done with the butt joints. And I would love to encourage you to explore your tools to their full capacity because as you can see here, I've used some of my used my box here for the corner beads, which is not so typical. So use the box, use the machine as much as possible. I utilize it as best as I can. Wherever I can do it by hand, I will, but in the meantime, I mainly focus on using the machine as much as possible. And here's a beautiful example of it throughout the house, upstairs, downstairs. Now, as you can see, the butt joints are mainly done by the 12-inch box, but there's other spots I couldn't have done in any other way, and I had to use my hawk and trowel. That's my preferred tool or method of covering the corner beads, my hawk and trowel. There's some of these big areas that you're seeing right now, some of these wonky areas that I fix up as I go along. There's one that's really more important than this one. This one here is the kitchen and it will be covered, so it's not as important. But there's another bad area coming up down the stairs here on the right hand side. I didn't stop for it, but you can take a look. And it's going to be an area that you need to work on a little bit. I'm very familiar with that area being bad. It's usually a transition in the house, so it doesn't bother me anymore. It's just something that I do. But you should be aware of those areas that have all those crazy butt joints, 10 butt joints in one, right? You have to treat it just like a butt joint, spread it wide and flatten it out. As for example, this butt joint here. And while you go around, if you see stuff like plugs and stuff like that, do them. It's important to do that, right? Now, there's things we're going to deal with later, but at this moment, we're going to move on to the inside corners if possible. I think we're going to be able to do that. The inside corners, as you can see, only has the tape on it. We're going to fix that problem right now. We are looking ahead at the objective, and I'm not sure when I did this part, if it was the same day or the day after, but I went ahead and started doing all these corners because I needed to dry. That's the objective, is dry time. The three ways have been cleaned. I've tied those up. And again, the idea here is for this to dry. Once I come back in, the idea is for rough sanding. I'll be rough sanding, everything will be dry, and I'll have a hard surface to work on. You'll see that somewhere in this video, there's a lot of waves that you have to take out, a lot of meeting points that you have to take out. The sanding won't be very much, but like areas like this, there'll be areas that needs to be sanded down. And that's really your biggest objective from moving from this point in. But getting all the mud on the wall now allows the mud to be dry and give you more time to work on it. The skim coat is a thin coat, so you're not worried about the skim coat drying. This is where you want the drying to happen. Put it on now. So before we go, I do want to remind you that we are using CGC all-purpose light compound from the box, directly from the box. I usually dilute this mud with about 2 to 3 cups of water, depending on the size of your cup.